Hey there, this is Honeybee Farm. I hope you love this one. I'm really excited about it. So we're gonna use the rustic round, y'all. I can't get sick of this thing. I'm so sorry if you are, but I am not. I'm not ready to give it up, okay? So this is a C size, okay? I know that it looks bigger than this round, okay? But I have some cutouts for it. So those are gonna fit perfectly on this round, all right? So let's get going. You can comment the word honey to get the supplies to make this tonight. Let me just slide this under here. And as you can see, I have all my cutouts here on my cardboard. So let's get to painting. I'm gonna use this color Sheepskin it's Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint, which I love. So I'm going to paint all of my cutouts with this color as my base color. I'll probably have to do 2 coats. So let's get to it because there's quite a few cutouts here. Now, an easier way to do your base coat, you could always just spray paint with white or even like an off-white. And then that acts as a primer. And then you can just do 1 coat of your base coat or none. Lightly sand it after you spray paint and after it dries, and that, if you like the color, that could be a perfect base coat, okay? You do not have to paint these individually if you don't want to. Now, I don't have a really great place to spray paint. Hopefully my new house will come with a place that I can go outside and spray paint. Maybe on the grass would be wonderful. But I don't really have any decent grass at this house. Hi Joni, hey Karen, welcome. Hi Brooke and Lisa, how are you? Hey Brownie, hi Deborah. Hey Stephanie, Alma, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Nice to see you here tonight. All right, so I hope y'all had a great day today. It's hump day. Tomorrow is pre-Friday. So that happened fast. I swear the weekend was just here, so it's going by really quick. Before I know it, I will be in the Dominican Republic sipping some kind of tropical drink on the beach. Hey Marcia, how are ya? Okay. Now I'm probably going to want to go over these twice. So I'm just doing a rough paint job right now with my little makeup sponge. Just kind of tapping a little bit of paint off before I go in. So that it doesn't get all gunked up, okay? I already got it a little gunky over here, so I'm gonna chill. No, this is a makeup sponge, okay? So I buy these in bulk from Amazon. These are the ones that I use. Now, the first time I use it, let me show you one that I've used, okay? I used this the other night. All I do is I set it to the side and I let it dry. And then once it's dry, this is hard, okay? I just cut that end off. And then I end up with a smaller piece. And then I can just take that smaller piece and paint with it like it's brand new. Okay? So I use them up until I can't anymore. Probably 4 times I can use one. And if you just let the paint dry on it, then you don't have to even wash it, which I love about these because I hate washing brushes so much. Hi Candy, how are ya? So it works really great for cutouts, especially ones with any kind of scoring on the cutout, or like this one has some like pretty detailed cuts in between. That way you don't have a bunch of paint gunking up in those little cutouts in between. And it works fabulous. Okay, I got this tip from another lady that I watch. Who's actually a designer of some of the cutouts that I use. And y'all, it is a game changer. Plus, the other thing I do, if you notice, I have this on a piece of cardboard. I take painter's tape and stick that to the board, okay? I roll it, I'll show you. I take the painter's tape and I'm just gonna do a small piece, okay? So I take a piece of painter's tape and I just take it sticky side up, okay? And I put it right on my board like that, and I just stick 2 ends of it down. And then it's a sticky surface I can put my cutout on, and then my cutouts don't move around whenever I'm trying to paint them. So great way for you to do tiny little pieces like for tier trays. I have started doing this for all of my cutouts because it holds them in place, and then I don't have paint all over my hands, okay? I still do get paint on me, but it's not nearly like it was. Yeah, it's fabulous. So that works really well. Also, I highly recommend, if you're having kids paint stuff, try this method, okay, with the tape. And I reuse it. As you can see, this cardboard has been through a lot of colors. Now, I do replace the tape on it eventually. Right now, the tape is kind of starting to not be as sticky as it probably once was. So the next time I use it, I'll replace every piece of tape on here. I'll just take it off and throw it away. And I just use this blue painter's tape. I get it at Lowe's. I actually had this left from whenever we painted the house. And so I didn't even have to buy any. But whenever I do need to buy some, I'll just repeat that and just buy some blue masking tape or whatever, painter's tape. Okay? It works really great. Hi, Bev. How are you? Hey, Lori. Hey, Tammy. Welcome. All right. So we're getting there with our first layer. So you can come with the word honey to get the supplies for this project, okay? I have everything there. The transfer, the rustic round, and the cutouts. So you can choose what you want out of those things. You can get it all and save a little bit of money on them, okay? And then, of course, tax and shipping will be added onto those prices, okay? So the prices that are shown are not including tax and shipping. Hey, Denise, how are ya? Welcome. So I decided, I know that last night someone asked, I forget who asked me if I'm going to be doing a live sale. And I said no, that I wasn't going to do one until after I get back from Dominican Republic. But I did get my launch day order in today, y'all. And I figured, you know what? Why not? Go ahead and do that. I know. I love this too, Lori. I think the finished project is going to be super cute. And I'm not painting my rustic round at all. I'm just going to use the brown. I really like that, the wood grain on the rustic round. So I'm going to use that. So I'm just using the lid of this paint to pull from. So I'm just getting a little bit more on here. Oops. So that I don't have to dirty anything else, okay? I'm just pulling right from the lid. I am topping my paint off so that it's not so thick. It doesn't have to be that thick. You want to do thin layers, let them dry entirely in between layers. And I like to do at least 2 layers, unless if I've spray painted. And then I may or may not even do a base coat, depending on what color I want my base. I may not. But if you use spray paint, I do recommend that you lightly sand with like a high grit sandpaper in between, okay? Before you start painting. After the spray paint, just go in there with a little bit with that high grit sandpaper and hit it with that. It'll just knock off any burrs because the spray paint kind of dries a little bit like rough is the right word. So just do that, but spray paint works really great to not have to do multiple layers, okay? And then you can just go in with a single layer, and especially if you're going to use a bright background color for your cutouts, that is what's going to make it really pop, okay? And this wood is MDF, so it does kind of bleed through a little bit. There's glue in MDF, and you know, I have like little things on my makeup sponge that are getting stuck in my paint. It has glue in it, okay, and the glue is yellow, and so it will yellow white paint unless if you prime it or do a couple of coats, okay? So just keep that in mind. You'll see it does kind of suck up the paint pretty good whenever you use these cutouts, but The paint does look really good on them. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what I can wipe that on. I shouldn't wipe it on that, but I wiped it on my pheasant cloth. It's fine. I don't care. My pheasant cloth is disgustingly dirty. Like stained really bad. Not like dirty, but stained up. So why not add something else to it, right? Anywho, so yeah, spray paint your cutouts. What else can I tell you? And do 2 coats. If you're going to paint the base coat, which I recommend that I always paint them first before I do any paste on them. Paint them twice, okay? Unless if it's a dark color. Black, I don't always paint twice, okay? Because it covers pretty well. Just make sure, because like I said, it does suck up the paint, y'all. So good. And so sometimes it'll be a little splotchy. Just go back and touch up, okay? Anywho. So, I hope y'all had a great day today. I had a busy day, but it was a good one. So, that's good. I got a lot accomplished today, so that's nice. And, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I decided to go ahead and do an inventory sale this week. So, on Friday, I'm going to do an inventory sale. And it's only going to be current items, but I do have a caveat there, okay? I have a surprise for my sale. Now, I have some stuff that I have never showed you before, okay, that I'm going to show you at the end of the sale. So, if you want to come hang out with me and get access to this, you're not going to want to miss it, I can promise you, okay? It'll be current stuff and then that surprise at the end. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what it is. But come hang out with me. You can go look on my page, okay? Whenever my video's over, go swing back to my page and go to events and just click going on the event so that you will get notified and reminded about it, okay? Now, if you're following my page and you already get page notifications, you'll get a notification because I will send one. And it'll be right here on my business page. Retail pricing and all that jazz, okay? But I do have all of the new stuff, okay? Including surfaces and all that stuff. Now, I know that little bunny kit went out of stock already. I do have a couple of those. And I have the paste and ink colors that are also either running low, if you haven't grabbed them, you need to, or gone already, okay? And I don't know if y'all heard or not, but Dream Car, y'all, we sold it out, okay? So if you didn't get Dream Car, I am so sorry for you because you can't get it now. So that's just a good reminder that next month, make sure that you place your order and you place it early to get the color of the month because it will go and it will not come back, okay? But there are still some retired designs available on my website. If you haven't checked those out, like that welcome sign that, y'all, that was so popular whenever it was available. And once it went retired, it was so hard to find. You couldn't find it anywhere. Nobody had any copies of it, or they were hoarding them, I don't know, but that is still available. So go check that stuff out. It's all still on my website. You're welcome to get any of it, and don't forget that all of it's, I think, 20% off, and then club members get 40. That's the same price I pay for it, okay? On those retired transfers that they brought back this month. I don't know how long those are going to be out there. I think they're only for the month. So if you wanted those, y'all, don't sleep on this stuff, okay? Because it's going to be gone, and then there's nothing I can do for you, okay? Especially at the pricing that they're offering. All right. I'm trying really hard to hurry up and paint this stuff. All right. Here we go. All right, I think I'm good. I'm gonna dry all of this real quick while it's on the board. That is the other great thing about using the tape on the board, is that whenever you go to dry it, your dryer will not blow your pieces all over the place. Okay, it'll hold them still, so you can get them all dry and not have them going everywhere. Okay, so let me see if I can find somewhere I can put that. And then, so like you see here, I just took this is my used makeup sponge. I'm just going to set it right there on my board, and I'm going to let it dry completely. It'll dry overnight, and then the next time that I go to paint any cutouts, I'll use it probably. Oh, I don't think I got this. Okay. I have a couple of them over here, and I just cut the end off of it once it's dry, and then use it again. And it works great. Even if you paint with paste, you don't have to wash them. I love it. I really hate washing any kind of tools. In fact, I still have my cup is still in here with squeegees in it right now. And I'll probably leave it in here until I run out of squeegees, and then I'm doing a project and I'm like, oh God, I don't have a squeegee to use. And then I'll have to wash all of them. Okay. So I want to make sure all of these are really good and dry before we move on, because we do need to wax them. That's another thing I saw that was low inventory on the website, is surface wax. So if you need some, you need to grab it, okay? But yeah, I hope that you will come hang out with me on Friday evening, my regular time that I do my lives. And I think I did not paint this one twice either. It doesn't seem like it. I don't know what I was thinking, but we'll do it real fast. And if there's anything that just came out that you missed picking up on the website, you can grab it from me. If you can remind me, Deborah, I'm probably not going to show any tools or accessories on Friday. It'll just be the new stuff. So remind me about that, and I'll just add it to your invoice. I have plenty here for the tape. Okay, now, all of these are painted. I'm going to pull them off of here now. I'm going to try and be careful. I did break one of my cutouts the other day because I was manhandling it, so don't do that. Yeah, if you don't mind, just remind me on Friday after my sale, or like Saturday, and I'll get that added there for you. Another thing, I did post some bundles, some really cute little spring bundles. So I got these spring garlands, okay? They have like bunnies and carrots, and they're so cute. So I got those, and they're actually on the way. I don't have them yet. That's why I put a little note on there saying that that stuff will ship after next week, because I have to wait for them to come in. But I wanted to get that out there so that y'all could see them if you want to pre-order those. Okay, so I am going to use my light. I don't know that I necessarily need to, but I'm going to. And before I do anything, I want to wax all of these pieces. So I'm just going to lay them out right here so that I can do that in an organized manner. Y'all, I'm getting so excited about going to the Dominican Republic. I've never been before, and it is going to be so much fun. We have a blast with everybody from Chalk. Seriously, it's the best group of women I've ever known. And literally anybody can qualify to go. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, but you can do it. So if you're a designer and you're striving for that, you can absolutely do it. And there's so many opportunities. It's really awesome how many different ways that you can sell if you want to sell. And I mean, like, honestly, if you're a true crafter, then I think it turns into an accidental thing where you end up selling and you don't even mean to. That's kind of what happened to me at the beginning. I didn't intend to sell anything, and then I did on accident. And yes, I will do that, Deborah. I can definitely do that. That's actually my plan, is to bring back some, I don't know what. I gotta find something. I'm sure they'll have like a little beach thing. Usually the resorts have a couple little places nearby. I don't know that we're gonna leave the resort to like go out. Last time whenever we were in Mexico, we went shopping, but the DR is a little bit different because I think it's more dangerous. So I don't know that we're gonna go venture out on our own because I'm not trying to get kidnapped. Okay, so here we go. Now, first things first, this is a large transfer, okay? This is 12 by 18, but so is your fuzzing cloth, okay? So no need to be afraid of this guy. I'm gonna show you, for the larger transfers, C and D size, you can do the same thing with D size, except you just use both sides of the fuzzing cloth. So just take half of it off and stick it to the fuzzing cloth and then peel the rest off, just like that, okay? And now you don't have the danger of it sticking to itself, and you can mess with it a little bit easier. Okay, I am gonna fuzz it. So I'm just gonna fuzz it 3/4 at a time on both sides. All right. I'm gonna move this because, yeah, it's very dangerous. I mean, it is connected to Haiti, so I do understand that. But yes, it will be a great time. I'm certain of that. All right, so that I think is probably fuzzed well enough. And I don't know if I'm gonna need my light on this or not. Let me see. I don't think I will. So maybe I'll go ahead and use it. I don't know. Now, I'm going to try and line this up. Yeah, I'm going to have to take it off of here, though. So, now, I just want to be careful not to stick it to itself. But it's not a huge deal. If it does get stuck to itself, okay, don't be afraid. Just spray a little bit of water on it. Y'all have seen me do it a million times. It happens. And you can save a transfer. You're not going to destroy it by doing that. So don't be afraid to use the big transfers. And if you are afraid, like on the big D size, especially the prints, I heard really good advice the other day, and I thought I just loved it. So one of my girlfriends was saying that she tells her customers to go ahead and buy 2 of that pattern, whatever it is. Now we're going to use Shimmer Shadow. Okay, it's just black with some glitter because I love it. She tells her customers to buy 2 and use one and cut up one of them, okay? Cut it into smaller pieces, maybe into 4ths or whatever smaller pieces work for you, and then keep the other one for bigger stuff. So that way you have one that's already cut, okay? And you don't have to worry about it sticking to itself. You can use it for smaller things. That looks really good. And you don't have to worry about all that for smaller stuff. Or you can just literally take it, the big ones like that, and not unstick it from the backer sheet. And just put your surface in between the backer sheet and the transfer. That works really great too, okay? So there's several options where you don't have to worry about it. And if you do get it stuck together, it's not a big deal. Just put some water on it. Either put it under the sink or spray some water from a water bottle. And then gently pull it apart. Okay, it's really not a huge deal at all. Okay. So that one turned out really good too. And then, see if I can move this guy over. Okay. Now I did wax all of these before I started, okay? So just know that they are waxed, and you do need to wax so that you keep from pulling up your paint, okay? You don't want to pull that up. Mess up your cutout or your transfer, really. I'd be more, hi Melissa, more concerned really with the with the transfer getting messed up. The cutout, at least you can repaint if you need to. But the transfer, then you got to get another one if you do mess it up, okay? So, all right. Now, I'm going to use black on all of this. My mom's not here to tell me otherwise, but I just want it to be plain black, okay? On this off-white background, I think it'll look fabulous. And I just love this shimmer shadow. Okay, so there's my farm. Now I'm just setting all of these over to the side so that they can dry really well. And so I don't mess them up, okay? Now I'm gonna do left to right. And top to bottom, left to right, okay? As I go and just make my way through my cutouts. And I'm not cleaning it or doing anything in between. I'm just leaving the parts that I used already, and then I'll clean it at the end, okay? And these transfers are so great. You hardly use any paste anyways, so it's not a bad cleanup at all. I cleaned my transfer I used last night again in here. I did not take it inside, which is so handy for me, because I find it to be a real pain to have to bring everything inside. Now, if I was inside already, it's not that big of a deal. I already know because I was in there before. It's just a pain, and especially with showing my house right now, I'm like having to bring everything back out here in the afternoons or in the morning before I have a showing, and that's just, it's a lot for me to have to do all of that. I already have to, make sure all the dishes are done, make sure the laundry's done, and that just adds something else for me to do. So that looks really great too. And I'm just setting these to the side. Let me see. Right here. Let me pick this up. Thank you for sprinkling, Melissa. I appreciate you so much. All right. Let me... Just like that, y'all. These transfers make it so easy to do these, to line up the cutouts. Oh my gosh. I am loving it. Because they're see-through and thin, and you can see exactly where you're putting it. There's no guesswork involved. Even with the light, it was a little bit questionable. Okay, now the light definitely helped with the other transfers, and it works fine. Okay, but these are a game changer. I love them, and I don't want to go back. Okay. And I recognize that I probably will have to go back at some point because now they added this new supplier that does these ones, and I don't know that the other supplier does these, and that's scary for me. So these are the things that keep me up at night. All right, for my bee, let's see if I can get this thing lined up. All right. Oh my gosh, y'all. First try, baby. I love it. All right. I am so ready to go on vacation, y'all. And I'm going to be gone for a while. So we're leaving on Thursday morning, and we're flying down to Houston for the night, and then we're going from there early the next morning. Then we're going to the Dominican Republic from there, and we're going to be back late, like a red eye, the following Thursday night. So basically, I took off a week and a half from work, and I am stoked. I am so ready to not have to wake up at a certain time, which is funny because I say that, okay, and I guarantee you I'm going to be waking up at like 6 a.m. every single day, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to go. But no one's making me do that. So that's the difference. Look how great this bee looks. Now, all of this is perfect just for this bee, I think. It is so pretty. It looks great with that shimmer shadow paste. And y'all, it has a little crown. I love it. Okay, so let's do the thing. Oops. I can not stick this entire thing to my light. That would be great. And now I did see a trick, so let's try that with this, because these smaller pieces are kind of a pain. So this is a cool trick. I turn this around, and it is sticky side up. Now I'm going to take this little crown, and it is paint side down. I'm going to just stick that right there. And it's not perfect, so that's not good. But it's closer than anywhere I was getting. I just went way farther over to the wrong side. So, see what I just did here? Very gently just pull it apart from itself. Now, that did not work for me very well, because I don't know why. Let's see if I can do it like this. Okay, there we go. Now, there we go. Just like that, okay? And then, for the other side, so again, you can comment the word honey to get all the stuff to make this. Everything's included there. All you need is paste and some glue and a little bit of patience, some paint. For the background, whether you want to use paint or paste, you can do either. Okay? But all of it will ship right to you. Now, I do want to note, so I know I've got a lot of new customers now. Whenever I have a deal of the day like this one, and it comes with cutouts, if you buy it all and get the cutouts, usually what I do is I order the transfer and the surface or whatever else from the website, and I have it shipped directly to you. And then I just ship the cutouts, okay? So if you see a higher shipping price than what you would normally think it would take, that's part of it, okay? Because I don't carry all this stuff in my stock. I don't carry tons of it. Some things, hi Mom, welcome. Some things I do have inventory of, but I don't keep the full projects here, okay, for sale. I keep my own personal surfaces, and I do have transfers in inventory, but usually I ship from the website because it's cheaper for me that way. So just keep that in mind. If you get that shipment from Chalk with your transfers and your surface and you haven't gotten your cutouts yet, look in your email, okay? Because I send, every time I ship something, I include your email address on there so that you get tracking in an email when your items ship and when they're delivered, okay? My thing automatically does that. So every time that I create a new shipping label, and I always put itemized items in there too, okay? so that you can see what all is in that order, and so that it's easier for me whenever I'm going back to try and find something and figure out what the tracking is, that I know what was in that order, okay? So just keep that in mind for me. If you're looking for tracking, check your email. Okay, look for emails from me if it's cutouts, okay? And just know whenever you get 2 shipments, it'll generally be 2. All right, so that is a little tip for me. And most of you that are my regular customers know that already, that I'm sending you stuff every day pretty much. I'm mailing stuff out. My poor mailman, y'all. Gosh. And so the other day, Chris, I had a bunch of the stuff for my cutout sale, okay? The ones that I had to ship UPS, it took me a while to get them out the door because I have to go to the UPS place and drop them off. And usually, Chris takes them for me. He goes to work. Well, it was icy for days in a row, okay? So we couldn't leave the house. He didn't go to work. And anyways, those shipments didn't go over to the UPS store. Or it's not the UPS store, it's actually like the AutoZone or whatever near my house. Anyway, so whenever Chris finally went back to work, he was like, I'm not going up to the shop today, but I will take your packages to drop them off on my way home, right? So he goes up there on his way home with all these packages, and I'm telling you, it was a ton of them, okay? He had to do 3 trips into the store, and usually I carry a bag or a large box. I have one of those pop-up porters that I use specifically for my mail, okay? I carry it out here to package it in that thing, and I carry it inside, all the boxes inside with that, and then I put them, whenever I'm taking them to UPS, I put them in there, and y'all, it's so handy. I love it, because I have a bunch of packages all the time. Well, that's what I do, okay, so that I try to only make 1 or 2 trips into the store. He made 3, and he said that he walked in there, and he's wearing his work clothes, okay? He drives a big truck, like a big truck with a crane on it, okay? So he pulls up in front of the store. Look at that. Pulls up in front of the AutoZone in this huge truck that's like, obviously it's a big mechanic truck, okay? Pulling up to AutoZone. Walks in there in his uniform with tons of packages and just keeps coming. And he tells the guy, like, I have more. I'm coming back. Just wait for me. And he said there was like a rolling cart there sitting next to the checkout where they scan everything in. And there was something sitting on it, like a battery or something, and he just moved it. He picked it up and moved it so that he could put all of my packages on that rolling cart so that the guy could scan them all. And I'm like, Chris, I would never, okay, I go in there all the time. But I would absolutely never do that, just because, well, I'm not going to touch anything greasy, first of all. But, like, I just don't have the kahunas to do that, you know? But Chris, he does not give an F, okay? He is like a honey badger, and he does not care at all. But yeah, so he was laughing, saying that guy was looking at me like, what is going on, guy? And they know me. Whenever I walk in there, they know exactly what I'm in there for every time. It's the same, like, 3 people that always help me. And those poor guys, I have so many packages that I bring. Sometimes it's multiple times in a day I will stop by there and drop stuff off. But he was so cute. He was like, I told that guy, you just hold on a minute because I have more coming. Bless Chris's heart. I'm telling you now. I know I'm always talking about how wonderful he is, y'all, but he helps me so much with so many things for my business. It's awesome. Okay, so there's that one. That is the last cutout that we have for this. And let me just show you how little of paste we used. Okay, I literally have like no shimmer shadow paste, hardly at all in this jar, none. And I just closed it and it got messy everywhere, so I'm not going to do it. I open it again, but there's no paste in that jar. I was using the lid and the little tiny bit that's left on the bottom of the jar, okay? And there's still plenty in there. That's why I haven't gotten rid of that one. Well, it's not dried up, so there's nothing wrong with it, but usually at the end of the jar like that, I'm like, I gotta get rid of this because it's not enough paste to use, but it is enough paste. It's amazing how it's always enough paste these days. All right, so now I'm gonna just lay all of these. Now, obviously they're not in order of the way they're gonna be, okay? I'm just setting them here so that I can dry them all at the same time, okay? So, oops. Let me do that real quick and then we'll get moving. This is gonna be so cute though. I really like the light background on this brown, but you could absolutely paint this surface. You could make it stripes. You could do, you know, we have buffalo plaid back. The mini buffalo plaid is back, and it comes in one of those thin transfers, which is awesome. Y'all, I used it the other night to make something. One of my friends requested something from me, and so I made him a sign, and that buffalo plaid is awesome. I used shimmer paste on it, and it works so good. I even cleaned it out here, okay? And to use that big old transfer with shimmer paste and then clean it out here and not have to take it inside, y'all, that is the first time that I've ever been able to do that. And I'm telling you, it's these new transfers being so thin that you don't even use hardly any paste. Oops. Let me not touch all of these because they're not dry. Yeah, I'm excited about this one too, Alma. I think it's going to be really cute. And I found a big piece of jute. This is one of the sailor ropes from Dollar Tree. I found that laying over here on the floor of my room, so I thought, why don't I use this tonight? Instead of using like a bunch of strips of that really thin jute, since I'm pretty sure my other one is out in my garage and I just haven't been out there to look. Because I have to lift a bunch of boxes to go deal with that, and I'm not ready. I do need to clean out my garage, so maybe that will happen someday. Okay, I think we're good here. Now, I do have my glue gun, and it is hot and ready. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. First things first, I'm going to put all of this stuff exactly where I want it on here. And, okay, these are backwards. Not that it really matters because you can't tell that those are backwards, but fresh goes on the left, local on the right, the B in the middle, and the greenery around it. Now, like I said a minute ago, this one is 18 inches long, okay? So it does not, if you're going to do this transfer on this surface, you're going to have to edit it a little bit. The wildflower honey is kind of offset. I think this is going to look great though. Okay, so let me just be sure that I'm happy with the way that this looks, and then we're going to go to town. So I'm going to just take a little bit of glue, okay, and really I'm tempted, now that I'm doing this, I should have done it, but I'm going to do it with the rest. Okay, so where's my, we're going to use E6000. Hi, Shirley. And we're going to put this on first, okay? Because if you have if you're putting this on your porch and you have direct sunlight, you cannot be using hot glue, okay? It's not going to stick. It's going to melt off. And I can't open this, so that's a fun time. So I've been thinking about that lately. I don't know if that's going to open it either. Let me see. I've been thinking a lot about this lately, actually, that we need a solution, okay? And my solution is always E6000. It works so good. It's better than any other glue, and it literally is going to stay forever, okay? So what I do is I take my E6000 and I just put a little bit on here, okay? You don't have to put a whole bunch. Just like that, okay? And then I'm going to take my hot glue And I'm going to also use hot glue. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow the hot glue to hold it now and the E6000 to hold it forever. Okay? You just want to be careful not to use a ton of each, or of either, because it might squirt out along the edges. So just be careful and thoughtful of that. And with this one, I think it'll work fine because the cutouts are so thick. As long as I don't go too wild, okay? But I think that these are thick enough to where I'm not going to be having a bunch of glue that's squirting everywhere, all right? But that way, this will really, really hold, and I don't have to worry about the letters falling off, because I've been thinking about that. I made those signs for my friend, and they're not, I mean, these are door hangers. This rustic round is intended to be a door hanger, okay? But, I mean, I do not hang all these signs on my door. I have hung, obviously, the rustic round on my door, and I do keep one on my door, but I don't have direct sunlight, and I've been very lucky and not had pieces fall off of it, okay? But that's not to say that that's how that's always going to work out, okay? And that's not always going to be everyone's case. So just make sure that you think about that, especially if you're doing a gift, because my door is different than other people's doors, and I don't want something that I made for someone to be messed up, you know? So let me do the B first. Feel more confident with that. All right. So that one was a little bit much. I'm just gonna come in and clean it up a little bit. Oops. Yeah, I didn't consider that these were all not glued down yet, but I just want to make sure there's none on the top. I do see a little bit over here too. Okay. All right. Y'all know I'm a little ditzy. I forget that things aren't glued down yet. So let me see if I can. Now I do also have one of these keys on my glue, and it helps me make sure that I'm using all of it. I just bought a pack of, I think 2 of them on Amazon. Super handy and a really good investment. I've had that E6000 now. I don't use it a whole lot, but I've had it since I started chalk. And I use it, I'm going to start using it more as I do more door rounds, because I just don't know where people are going to hang these. And so I want to consider that whenever I'm making them. Now, only whenever I'm doing thicker cutouts, okay? I'm going to have to come up with a different way to handle this. And I think maybe like Gorilla Glue might be a good option. I need to look into some other glues for ones with smaller cutouts, because these are so thick. I don't mind using this. It squirts out so thick. But for thinner cutouts, I probably want to do something different. but definitely want to use hot glue with it so that that holds it first. And then the E6000 comes in forever, okay? And we are pretty much done here. I just need to tie the door hanger part on it. And I think I'm really liking the way this is turning out. So that's good news. Okay. Let me get this lid back on here. And I do have, it did squirt out just a little bit over here. So clean that up before I stick my hand in it and smear it everywhere. Who knows what I'm going to do. I don't know. But there's that. Look how good it looks so far. I think that's pretty darn good. And then I want to use this thick rope. I think I want to use this thick rope. Let's just be sure. Now I don't want to keep it as long as it is. I want to shorten it up, so I am going to cut it. But, ooh, yes. That would be great. I think it would be wonderful. And I would definitely, if you haven't gotten it yet, get yourself that new Buffalo Plaid, y'all, because as great as the old one is, and I still have copies of it, and I still will be using it, the new one is incredible, okay? I'm telling you right now, I used it the other night. It is awesome. I love how thin it is. And again, see-through, so you can line it up really well. And cleanable, like, I mean, it is amazing. I love it. All of these new transfers are so good for the cleanup, if nothing else. Now, I didn't think about this before, but I am going to use just a little bit of E6000 on this knot right here. Okay, and again, I am going to use super glue with it too, so that the super glue will start the hold and the E6000 will finish it. Okay, especially since I did not even do a double knot here. I'm going to put it underneath the knot, and then I'm going to also cover the knot. Not probably entirely because it's a big knot, but I'm going to put glue on top of the knot so that it holds it really well. And then I know for sure that it's not going to come undone. Okay? So I'm going to just take my glue gun, sit here with this for a second and hold it until it kind of starts. So this is one of the rustic rounds from my shop. You can comment the word honey to get all of the supplies for this, including the round. These are 16-inch rounds. They're about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch thick. They are amazing, okay? They are double-sided, so you can do more than one thing on each side if you want to, okay? But then you need to think about how you're going to hang it, all right? So there's that. We have our hanger. It is still drying, so I don't want to pull on it. But I think that this is absolute perfection. So let me know what you think. Comment the word honey to get all the stuff to make this. And I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Tomorrow is pre-Friday, Friday Eve. And I am looking forward to hanging out with you tomorrow night. So come see me. And then Friday we will do an inventory sale with current stuff from the spring launch. Okay? All right, y'all. I hope you have a wonderful night. Comment the word honey. Get all the stuff to make this yourself. And come see me tomorrow, okay? Good night.